Our project is called For When Matters. So I'm just gonna give you a hypothetical situation. There's a financial crisis, you lose your job. 2 months later, you're driving, there's like a hurricane, worst case scenario, and you need money, you can't find it. You end up with a website saying, you know, borrow this amount, you'll get it. You end up paying interest for up to 800%, and that's what the payday loans do. So even if you explain this, no one's going to lend you money just because you lost your job. So we're now in that situation. So we were trying to find a way of, so that's where the title came from, For When It Matters, because when you're not having problems, it doesn't matter where the money is coming from. But when you have problems, that's when it really matters. So these are our goals and objectives. Sure, you can all read them. I'm not going to go through each one of them. But one of the most important things that supports our social structure are nonprofits. And I say this because we can see from the hurricanes that have happened and all this work they do. And they don't only work just because there's a calamity or something like this. They also work when they could have a prison program and they help people who get out of prison incorporate into society. So all these are the benefits, the things they do, and you know, you might not really notice it. And so we're trying to accomplish too many things with this. We're trying to support local businesses, and we're not saying small businesses, because a business, whether it's small, you know, this term has become more of a political pointer, supporting a small business, but a business, whether it's small or not, they still hire people who stay in that community. So we want to support the local businesses with what we're doing. So our primary market is the low to middle income families and individuals. These are the people most likely to be targeted by payday loan companies and the people who are most likely to need this particular service. And the secondary market is the corporations or people or organizations that regularly give to charity. So we will incorporate this soon so we could all see how it's working. So down to how it works. So essentially our concept is similar to what Groupon does. But instead of, when you use Groupon, in layman's terms, a couple of people get together, go to a business, and they get a discount because there are a number of people working together. So what we're doing here is, instead of having it like that, a bunch of people will get together, and we are the middlemen, and this becomes a permanent setting. So when more people come, they join that group. So if you get a 20% discount, for instance, Verizon, the sales commission is, this is just an example, 25%. So if you come through us, because we have the economies of scale with more numbers, we'll have that 25%, and we'll give you the 20% discount, and the 5% will go into an account that we'll use to fund the nonprofit. So every month, and how we make money is the nonprofits have to pay a fee. The fundraising expense for nonprofits, I'm not really sure about the number, but I would assume it's about, let's say, 10% average. So this 10% is where we're going to make our money from. And the way we're looking at this is to have this in the first 1 to 5 years, even though it's breaking even, that's good enough. But when you reach that point, when you have the numbers, the number of people you need to go forward with this, then you can start thinking about returns on investment. So, so whoever uses the service automatically becomes a member of our consumer group, and this consumer group could be used, you can use it, we're looking at the Lowell area, you can use it at the market basket, you could use it when you're getting your insurance, because we're a number of people, say we're 500 people, and we're all buying this product from this business. So, and this is how we support the small business, because for instance, if there was a Best Buy in downtown Lowell, just because it's not considered a small business, but it does serve the Lowell community. So this is what we're doing with that. And I try to make an example here just to show how we'll be getting money from the discounted rates. So this discounted rates is what Groupon gets, because a bunch of people will get the coupon that they use. So the item costs $50. We have a group discount because we're all working together as a group, and we end up getting the item for $40. However, then we add a $2 charge that's going to cover the money that will be used to donate to the nonprofits. Remember, all this money is going back to the nonprofits because we're making money by charging them either a percentage of what we collect or a monthly or annual fee. So, and then on the other hand, I didn't want to use the word payday loan reserves, but at this point that's what it is right now. Payday loans, we're not looking to do more than $1,000 in these loans. So we need to have some sort of seed capital to support this. And the other aspect of this is through employee advances to, this is going to be a recruitment mechanism, because if local businesses partake in our initiatives, we match up to $500, we match the advances their employees get. And when we give them this money, for instance, if you need a salary advance for $1,500, and we'll give you up to $500, but instead of giving you $500, you'll get about $450. So the $50 that remains is considered a charitable contribution. So I kind of put this here in terms of a matching program because, you know, I don't want people to feel like they're being conned into giving to charity, but if your job is giving you $1,500 and you really need $2,000, then you could come use our program and you don't have to use a salary advance. The payday loan initiative or anything like that. And the other aspect is we're thinking of companies, large corporations that normally do donate to charity, and we were going to use these funds as seed capital to support our initiatives. And this is paid for through service fees. These are normally targeting the non-profit organizations. And eventually we'll incorporate the service fees into the payday loans, because we figured if everyone or 80% of the people who use the service use it through us, then we'll be able to not only break even, but capture the entire market, because we're doing something that no one else is doing. And I think personally that it has a high marketing value, especially when people believe that they're helping out, even though they're getting money that's helping them, they're helping other people who need it more. And through membership fees. This isn't part of the slide. When people were mentioning DCU, I noticed we thought that this would be a good initiative because of the marketing value. You can't really put this in words. You can't really know what value it will have, but people tend to want to associate themselves with people who are doing good things in their communities. And because it has a financial expertise, because I believe this could be a financial instrument, and being a not-for-profit organization itself, I think it would be the perfect fit. Any questions?
How is this going to be delivered? So how do people interact with this service? Is it a mobile type thing? How's the interaction happen?
Well, we're thinking more, because we're doing this, we want to roll this out in phases. So we're looking at just Lowell itself. So we're going to obviously do some more research and see what the most popular way of getting this across is, because we didn't want to go do it online and have them go to a website when if we put something up at the local market basket, more people will sign up. So that's something we have to research a little bit more on. But we are going to hopefully have a website whereby, just like Groupon has one, and then there'll be a bunch of different groups. And once you become a member, we want to make it very difficult for anyone to leave, but not in terms of by creating social value, not financial value. No penalties just because you're leaving, but the social value, you'll be losing out and being part of a community.
So, Isaac, I understand the social value, but I'm not entirely clear on what the product is. So, I heard you talk about a buyer's club.
Yes,
I heard you talk about a substitute for a payday loan.
yes.
But it's not clear to me how those pieces fit together.
Well, this is all part of one large entity, and these are the different components. In the end game is obviously to make some money, so these are just the ways we're going to make the money. So it's by targeting social problems on one hand, and on the other hand, we are, I would say
Well, is it about making money or is it about helping people? Because you
Well-
talk about that a lot.
well, because, I think one of the things that happen, you can help people by making money yourself. So this concept that you can make money if you're helping people, that's what we're trying to do. And we were approaching this because it said on the website that we're looking for funding
So,
for nonprofits.
Can I ask you another question then? How come the payday loan? I mean, the buyer's club piece, a nonprofit buyer's club piece, I understand.
Yes.
I understand how you might associate that with nonprofits, but how does the payday loan piece fit in? And do you think you can really generate enough money from that? Like you're talking about maybe a small differential charge
Yes.
on the buyer's club discount to bring some revenue into the pool. Do you think you can make enough money to give multiple $1,000 loans?
Well, when we're thinking about this, we're looking just at this downtown area. So we're not looking at millions of dollars, we're looking at a couple of hundreds, thousands of dollars. So because of that's our target, that's our niche market, we think it's quite possible. And if you think you're going to expand and all this, then obviously we have other initiatives that would be activated as we expand. So I do believe that it is possible, and we're not doing this to give everyone.
Right.
It's an exclusive service, and depending on how it works out, then we can go forward and say, now we're going to do this. Plus, we hope to, like I said, in a few years, incorporate some fees in there. Obviously, not term them as interest or these terms service fees.
I might take you in a little bit different direction here.
Yes.
Are you familiar, or have you heard of a company or an organization called Kiva?
I have not.
Kiva is a peer-to-peer lending solution that's primarily international, and it primarily operates in third world countries. And the way it works is that if somebody needs, let's say somebody wants to run a taxi, they want to have their car be a taxi, that they provide transportation in the area, but they need $1,500 worth of repairs on their car. They actually go out looking for a loan, and as opposed to corporations, it's individuals go and donate a portion of that loan, and it provides the ability to, let's say you have usually it's not, let's say you have 150 people and each one of them wants to fund $10 worth of that loan, and then you pay it back. It's an interest-free loan, which I think would be one of those benefits that you're talking about on the payday side. I think if you take a look at it on the lending side, as Steve said, I actually think that it could have huge potential if you take a look at that type of model with regards to providing a Kiva-type model locally. And I think there's a passion for a lot of people to participate in that, because right now there's tremendous participation in Kiva, and it's a social participation. It's not a money-making participation from people. And I think there's also a lot of people, as you're referring to, that say, look, there's a lot of things going on in third world countries, but at the same time, what about what's happening here, where we are? And I think that there's a huge potential there as an avenue to address the lending side of things that you were talking about.
So more of a group funding.
It basically gives everybody a chance to participate, but in very small pieces.
Yes.
And if you think you might lose your money, if you put If you put $100 into it, you can put $10 towards 10 different loans, or you can put $5 towards different loans. And in their model, how they support the operations side of it is they actually solicit you to make contributions when you participate in a loan. You don't have to, but they recommend, if you're putting $25 towards a loan, they would recommend that you would pay another $2.50 to help support the operations and that. So from a concept side, I like what you're talking about, and I think that might be something that there's a model like that might actually be very helpful.
Well, one of the things that kind of blurred this for us was if we roll this out, there's a very high chance that someone else might emulate this. So that's one of the reasons why we're focusing on the aspect that's like group fund. But on top of that, we think that the payday loans are actually destructive to society. So we're trying to provide, we don't intend for that to be a very big component, but we're hoping if we can do it and somehow use that to generate revenue for the nonprofits, then we can turn people's needs into an opportunity to do some good. So we're trying to do something that would give us some strategic advantages.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.